Philippine government during the pre-colonization period? How much have changed since then? The Philippine government during the Spanish colonization, the effects of the Spaniards in the minds of the Filipinos. The Philippine Revolution and its consequences to the government and the Republic. The establishment of the First Republic and the rise of the Philippine-American War. The American occupation and its influences in the establishment of the Philippine government and the Commonwealth. The state of the Philippine government during World War II and the Japanese occupation.
Good morning, Philippines, and good morning, world. This is Trending News, serving you nothing but the truth, bringing you the eye on the news.
Our news for today, Philippine Government and Constitution, a short history starting of the Pre-Hispanic Barangay Government.
Prehistoric Philippines was ruled by a dato or raja who was the sovereign of their village barangay. Social classes were established with nobles as maharlika, with laborers as timawa, slave as alipin, and slave as sagigid. Laws were created with the dato advised by elders. Sultanates, Apsulu, and Maguindanao emerged in Mindanao to discuss about the Philippine government under the Spanish colonization period. Let's hear from Mr. Christian Serrano.
Spain colonized the Philippines in 1521, establishing the Council of the Indies. The Viceroy of Mexico led the council, which implemented Las Leyes de Indias. The first land partition government system was the Encomienda after Mexico declared independence in 1821. Las Islas Filipinas was directly ruled by Spain until 1898. Throughout the period of colonization, the Patronato Real provided for the union of the state and church, where the church was placed under the power of Spain, making the friars become politically powerful, or what is referred to as prelocracy. In the local government, high political powers such as the alcalde-mayor of the pacified province were reserved only to Spaniards. To give us the report about the state of the Philippine government during the Philippine Revolution, we have Miss China Antonio.
The Philippine Revolution, a series of rebellions and resistance against colonial oppression, saw the rise of heroes like Raja Sulaiman, Diego, Gabriela Silang, Dagohoy, and Hermano Pulo. The Cavite Mutiny in 1872 led to the execution of secular priests Gomez, Burgos, and Zamora, sparking the propaganda movement for reforms. The propaganda, a powerful force against Spain, was more effective during Del Pilar, Jaina, and Rizal's time. Rizal resigned due to disunity and secretly formed Liga Filipina, but his political plans were disrupted. The Katipunan, a secret organization against Spanish rule, began in 1892. It was formed by a splinter of La Liga Filipina, founded by Jose Rizal. In 1896, the Katipunan declared independence, sparking a nationwide revolution. To solidify further the Katipunan, Bonifacio proceeded to Cavite, the most successful province against Spain. To unify the Magdiwang and the Mangalao factions of Cavite, the Tejeras Assembly was conducted. The assembly resulted to the dissolution of the Katipunan and the birth of the revolutionary government of the Philippines that elected General Emilio Aguinaldo as president.
To continue the report, we have Kyla Francisco on air live at the National Museum of Philippine Arts. Kyla?
Yes, Jonah. After what had transpired at the State House during the Tejeros Assembly, which led to the death of Supremo Bonifacio, the Republic retreated the Bulacan and was now called as the Biak-na-Bato Republic. During this time, the government of Spain and the Republic reached an agreement called the Pact of Biak-na-Bato, which indicates the exile of Aguinaldo administration in Hong Kong upon the immediate initial payment of 400,000 pesos.
While in exile in Hong Kong, did Aguinaldo give up on his hopes for the freedom of the Philippines?
Continued to work on his return to the Philippines and was able to negotiate an unstable alliance with the United States. During the Battle of Manila Bay, the Spanish Armada was destroyed by the American Asiatic Squadron, which enabled Aguinaldo to return to Cavite.
Upon returning to Cavite, did Aguinaldo and his cabinet members succeeded in liberating the Philippines from the Spanish colonization?
In a way, yes. Upon returning to Cavite, the revolution gained strength as the Philippine Army defeated the Spaniards in various provinces in Luzon and Visayas. In June 12, 1898, the culmination of all the sacrifices of the Filipino heroes and martyrs had paid off when the independence of the Philippines was proclaimed by Aguinaldo in his residence at Kawit, Cavite, where the national flag was waved.
Well, from what I understood, that was the premature independence that we had according to Mabini, since Aguinaldo made an unstable agreement with the United States by that point. Thank you, Carla, for the news.
To give us insights about the First Republic of the Philippine American. War and its effect on the Philippine government and its constitution. We have live at the Bariswa Church in Malolos, Bulacan, where the First Republic was built. Casey.
The first draft of the Republic was indeed made during the Malolos Congress, which was inaugurated on September 15, 1998 at Baraswain Church, Malolos, Bulacan. On November 29, the Congress approved the Malolos Constitution, which was drafted by Felipe Calderon, and with much debates and some provisions, it was approved by Aguinaldo on January 21, 1899. During the same year, Governor Otis made public the President McKinley Proclamation about the ownership of the U.S. over the Philippines. Because of the Treaty of Paris, which was indicated the sale of the Philippines from Spain to the U.S. for $20 million. Aguinaldo and the government in Malolos protested against the proclamation, which led to the inauguration of the First Republic, known as the Malolos Republic, to prove that the country is a stable state. While continuous talks between the Filipino and American panels resulted to no agreement, an incident at San Juan Bridge started the Philippine-American War. The war resulted to a series of defeats to the Republic as more American troops arrives. In his retreat to Isabela, President Aguinaldo was captured, resulting to the fall of the Republic.
Thank you, Casey. It is very unfortunate to learn about the fall of the republic that was built by the blood and sweat. Tears of our Filipino heroes and martyrs only for the country to fall under again in a state of understand. What had transpired during the American occupation in the Commonwealth of the Philippines? Let us watch this short documentary entitled Pilipinas sa kamay ng banyagang Amerikano, kalayaan o kolonyalismo.
The U.S. civil government was inaugurated in 1901 with William Howard Taft as a governor. Military rule remained in southern Luzon, northern Luzon, central Luzon in southern Mindanao until 1914. The Philippine of Organic Act of 1902, also known as the Philippine Bill of 1902, established the All-Filipino elected Philippine Assembly as the lower house of the Camera Legislature, led by Sergio Osmeña as House Speaker and Manuel Luis Quezon as a majority floor leader. Under Governor Francis Barton Harrison, the Philippine government became predominantly Filipino, with 89% of offices occupied by Filipinos. The Jones Law of 1916 granted the Philippines independence, leading to the independence missions. After the Harrison administration, Leonard Hood became the next governor, but his anti-Filipino policies led to the cabinet crisis of 1923. The Ninth Independence Mission of 1931 achieved the Hair Hose Cutting Act, but was rejected by Quezon, who introduced his own Tidings McDuffel Law. The American occupation led to the creation of the Commonwealth of the Philippines, where the first constitution was drafted in 1934 with Manuel L. Quezon as president and Sergio Osmeña as vice president. Under the Commonwealth, new government offices were created, new cities were created, women were allowed to vote, and the Filipino, based on Tagalog, became the national language.
For the last news, the Philippine government during the World War II, we have Justin Diaz.
Thank you, Christian. After the attack of Pearl Harbor, Hawaii on December 7, 1941, the Japanese started their attack of the Philippines the next day. On January 2, 1942, Manila was occupied. Executive Commission during the Japanese occupation in 1942. On January 3, the Japanese High Command proclaimed the founding of the Japanese Military Administration, which established the Philippine Executive Commission to force the Japan with George Washington's surrender. The cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki were destroyed by the Americans with their new weapons and atomic bombs. On August 15, 1945, the Japanese finally surrendered to the Allied forces in a formal signing aboard in USS Missouri. On August 17, 1945, Jose P. Laurel in Nara, Japan, dissolved the Second Republic of the Philippines. And that's all for my report. Back to you, Christian. 1943, Prime Minister Hideki Tojo promised Philippine independence, leading to the creation of the Philippines Preparatory Commission to draft a constitution. The constitution was ratified by the Constitutional Assembly and Benigno Aquino was elected as Speaker. President Quezon died in an exile, and Osmeña was sworn as a president. The Battle of Leyte, defeated by the Japanese in 1945, MacArthur landed in Lingayen, Manila, was won, and MacArthur announced the Philippine Liberation to force the Japan to its unconditional surrender. The cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki were destroyed by the Americans with their new weapons and atomic bombs. On August 15, 1945, the Japanese finally surrendered to the Allied forces in a formal signing aboard in USS Missouri. On August 17, 1945, Jose P. Laurel in Nara, Japan, dissolved the Second Republic of the Philippines. And that's all for my report. Back to you, Christian.
Thank you, Justin, for the news. That's all for our news for today. This is Christian Abraham Serrano.
I am Janame Jaime.
And I am Aaron James Coloma, reporting for the trending news.